All right, so check this out here. I've got this command that I want to run, and normally I just pick this up, copy it, take over to a new tab and run it. But watch what happens here if I just execute this here. Look at that. I've got the output right there, right below it, and it's commented out. And maybe if I come up to this command here, again, invoke my shortcut, there's the output. So how is this happening? Well, I'm sitting inside of Neovim right now, and behind the scenes, I didn't show you this, but behind the scenes, I have a REPL running. And so what I was doing is I was taking the command, sending it off to the REPL, it would then run it, and then whatever output would come out of it, you can see it copies it over. For example, here is the output of the last command here. And of course, that copies it over then right here, and you can see it comments it out. And of course, the same thing is true with the first command that I ran. So basically what I have set up here, I have iron.nvim running a REPL over on the right. It's just the fish shell right over here. No different than if I opened up a terminal, run my commands right here. Exact same thing. I've just got it running inside of a pane inside of Neovim. And then I can basically send commands over to it. So this command right here, I can send this over. And I don't have to get the output back if I don't want it. I could just send the command. I could then move on maybe to these commands here. Maybe I want to do this one next. I could send this one. I don't have to get the output back, but what I did is I modified it. So if I do want the output back, I can run a different command and I can get the output back as well. And I want it commented out right down below the line that I executed. So the neat thing is, probably about 3 weeks ago, I would have never envisioned I would do anything to change how I was doing things back then, which is basically, I'd work with the terminal kind of as a throwaway environment, run my command, maybe run a different command here, see the output, and maybe if I really think it's important, in that case, I could then copy part of the output here, paste it over into a file somewhere with the command as well. But now that I don't have to do that all by hand here, now that it's more integrated, I'm starting to see the terminal, what I have on the right here, starting to see this more as in the background. I could kind of push it off to the side actually. And now I can focus largely on files with my commands inside of them. And one of the neat consequences of that is, well, if I'm working in Neovim, I have all my other plugins at my disposal to be able to edit code basically, or commands. And so if I wanted to make some changes here, let me come down below. So I have another example here where I'm running some commands. I've got these different sections, building a guide here. And so now I want to do this section here. So now I want the same command I have right here. I could copy that, make some changes, but why even do that? If I just go into insert mode here, you can see I'm getting a suggestion here right from my Copilot plugin. So now I've got the command that I want to run. If I really want to check it, I could come to the end here, could make sure it exactly matches it does, but I didn't have to type out that entire command now. And now that I want to see the output from it, well, just invoke my command here, sends it off, gets the output back. I can look through the output here. If it's important, I can just leave it in the script here. If it's not important, well, I can just hit undo here. It gets rid of it. If I change my mind, redo. So I've got all these tools at my disposal that I'd normally have just for files. I can now use these when it comes to writing commands, executing commands, looking at the output, etc. So if I ever come back to this and wonder how I got to a particular destination, I can see the steps that I took. I can even see the output that affected things. Like maybe I don't care about most of the output here. Maybe I don't want this part. Well, I could just get rid of this part and I could basically emphasize that these are the 3 important lines that I wanted to keep in my history because I'll know that there's something important about those. And if you're curious about the implementation here, you can find this out in my .files repo. It's out on GitHub there. If I open this up, I can show you. All right, so inside of here, I've got a file called miss.lua for miscellaneous here. This has the definition of iron.neovim in it. It's got a ton of extra additions to it as well. Way up here, though, at the top somewhere, way up here. All right, so here is the plugin I'm using. I've got a fork of it, but this is the upstream. I've got another video about this if you want to know more. All right, so here is the key map I'm using, leader and IT. If you look for that, you'll find the code this links to here. Still testing code. I'm still working through this, but I like where it's at right now. Essentially what I do is I take the current buffer number, a reference to that, I capture that so I can come back to it. So that would be the buffer on the left here that has my script in it. And then I go about getting access to the REPL, open it up if it's not open, otherwise get access to the REPL instance. Once I do that, then I generate a temporary file name because if you notice over here in the terminal output on the right, if I bring this back here, I'll run another one of these. Let me clear that, run that. So if you notice here, normally when I send a command, it just prints the output here. There's nothing on the end here. Watch what happens when I do this again, though. I'll send that exact same command. All right, so here we go. This time you can see on the end, I'm using the T command to write the output to another file, as well as dump it here to the terminal. So that file then can be read. Once the command is done, it's read, then it's put inside of the buffer. You can see over on the left here, the exact same output goes right here inside of the file that I was working with. So that's why I need access to the REPL. That's why I need a temp file, because I'm going to write to this file. Need it to be unique so I don't have collisions. And then what I do here, essentially I'm looking for special codes that are emitted by the shell or the terminal that indicate when a command starts running and when it's finished specifically. And I can handle that with the term request event. So I'm just creating an event handler. When term request fires off, if it fires and it has a 133 and then a semicolon and a D in it, that means the command is done executing. That way, if a command takes maybe 30 seconds to run, I'm not trying to copy the output before that, waiting until it's fully done, and then I copy the output afterwards. So once it sees that, then basically unregisters this event handler and then goes through the process of reading the file, that temp file, and then pulling that in and then just pasting it into the buffer. So it's really straightforward to use this. Oh yeah, and then I have a little code down here that actually sends the command off. And of course, it needs to make the one change to the command that it's sending to add that T on the end with the temp file. That's all it really took to get this set up. It's incredibly easy, actually, 2 simple pieces. And at the end of the day, a really neat workflow emerges where I'm just excited about what I might be doing with this in 2 weeks. I mean, I never even envisioned doing this right now today, let alone maybe even a couple days ago. So I'm excited to think about what am I going to come up with next now that I have this new tool that makes it really easy to focus on the script and probably just hide away the terminal and just focus right on the script here and just run things like this here. Just get my output right here. So yeah, if you want to check this out, check out my .files repo, copy code if you'd like it, plug it into your Neovim and just try it. And the neat thing is I actually picked this Iron Neovim plugin to work with Python code. I never envisioned using it for fish commands here or even Lua code. I've already started to use it for those other use cases just because, well, the plugin focuses on helping you take a REPL, run it in the background or run it on the side there, and it helps you send and receive stuff from that REPL. And so now I'm just taking the next step there to add an additional integration.